Factor 36x to the fourth minus 21x cubed plus 3x squared. This is another problem where there's a greatest common factor that we can pull out in the beginning to make the rest of our calculations easier. If you look at the terms of this polynomial, all of them are divisible by 3x squared, so we're going to pull out 3x squared as the greatest common factor. If we do that, the leftovers that we have are going to be 12x squared minus 7x plus 1. So we end up with 3x squared times 12x squared minus 7x plus 1. Now this trinomial that we're left with is something where we can use the AC method. So let's go ahead and do that. In this case, a times c is going to be 12 times 1, or 12. b is going to be negative 7. So we need two numbers that have a product of 12 and a sum of negative 7. Those numbers are going to be negative 3 and negative 4. So now that we have those, we can split the middle term. We're going to keep the 3x squared outside, and we're going to switch those parentheses to brackets, just to make everything more easy to read. And then on the inside, we've still got the 12x squared, but that negative 7x is going to become a negative 3x minus 4x, and then plus the 1. Now that we have four terms inside the brackets, we can factor by grouping. We'll keep the 3x squared out front. And then in the first group, both of those terms are divisible by 3x. So we've got 3x times, the leftovers are 4x and minus 1. Now in the second group, they only have 1 in common, but we need the leftovers to have a positive 4x, and we're left with a negative 4x here. So to get from that negative 4x to a positive 4x, what we're going to do is we're going to pull out a negative 1. When we pull out a negative 1, that's going to leave us with 4x for the first leftover. And then if we take positive 1 and divide by negative 1, that leaves us with negative 1 for the second leftover. So now we still have the 3x squared out front. And then when we finish off the grouping, the GCF among the groups was 4x minus 1. And the leftovers were 3x minus 1. So that's what we get there. And now at the very end, just to clean things up, we're going to get rid of the brackets because we don't really need them. This is all multiplication, so we can write it as 3x squared times 4x minus 1 times 3x minus 1, and that is our final factorization.